Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Q2, Montana's news leader.
A very good Tuesday morning and welcome to Montana This Morning. It's the day after Christmas. Hopefully everyone had a great holiday. I'm Samantha Harrelson in for Victoria this morning.
Hey, and I'm Ed McIntosh, and we got a lot of cold to talk about. And I mean, there's cold and then there's dangerously cold, and in some cases, that's what we have.
This is the don't go outside cold.
Yeah, it really is. You really got to limit the amount of time that you're out for today. We're starting off in Billings at 4 below. We had 5 below a short time ago with a little bit of a north breeze. Steady barometer, and we'll actually catch some sunshine today. The winds will be fairly light. The bad news is it's just cold, especially northern portion of the state. 24 below in Cutbank, 20 below in Glendive, 21 below in Glasgow. You can see the numbers down in Warland and minus 12. It's right at 0 for you in Cody. Livingston said 3 below a few minutes ago. And with the temperatures already chilly, you factor in a little bit of a breeze. Glendive now saying minus 33 for a wind chill instead of minus 41. That's good news. Right now, the real problem area, Cutbank, it doesn't take much of a wind around there. And Havre at minus 32 right now, factoring in the wind chill values. For us, we'll look at temperatures struggling into the low single digits, much as we saw yesterday, but with a little more sunshine and a mix of sunshine and a few clouds by later in the day. Today is Thank You Note Day.
And it's perfectly timed after Christmas. You would think they planned it.
You'd think. It's like the tradition of Boxing Day up in Canada and in England, where a lot of that's about saying thank you, and they get an official holiday. For us, we get Thank You Note Day.
I like the little jingle that goes along with it as well.
That's right. You know, I figured we need to spice things up a little bit. So.
Well, and it's perfect because it is way too cold to go outside. 2 degrees hardly counts as a high by anyone's estimation. So if you stay inside, you can get those thank you notes written.
Okay, that's for all the kids out there.
Yeah.
Writing your Santa notes and your grandma notes. And
well, gosh, you have to say thank you to Santa because we hope that he gave you a great day yesterday and want to make sure he comes back next year.
That's for sure. Yeah. Start now with the
And with this cold weather, you definitely have to, thank him so he'll come back because he probably didn't like it so much.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. We'll get to some news.
Thanks.
Montana Highway Patrol has responded to nearly 400 crashes, including some slide-offs since Saturday as a result of the weather. Thankfully, none of those have resulted in deaths. In Billings, the roads remain covered in snow and ice, but city crews broke out the snowplows late last night, with arterial streets receiving treatment before the morning commute. On Friday, Public Works decided not to place street maintenance crews on call throughout the holiday weekend. Residents voiced their displeasure on social media. Full crews will begin 12-hour shifts during 24 hours of plowing until streets are plowed and hauled. And the cold and snow, not just in Montana, much of the nation is bracing for an Arctic blast this week. That's after more than a dozen states woke up to a white Christmas yesterday. Unfortunately, the novelty wore off quite quickly for those trying to get somewhere. Thousands of flights were either canceled or delayed at airports across the country. And despite the cold and snowy conditions here in Montana and around the country, in California, the state's largest wildfire blazes on. The Thomas Fire, which ignited earlier this month, has burned hundreds of thousands of acres and destroyed more than 1,000 structures. Almost 1,600 firefighters spent their Christmas helping to battle the blaze. The 3 members of the Columbus Fire Department who went down to help fight those fires earlier this month all returned home safely and just in time to spend Christmas with their families this year. Now on to Washington. President Trump says it's back to work today after he and his family spent Christmas in Palm Beach, Florida. Among the items on the president's agenda, officially inviting one of his world leader counterparts to the U.S. and rolling out the red carpet. The last president not to do so in his first year of office was Calvin Coolidge in the 1920s. Wendy Gillette explains.
Twitter, his holiday break is over. Writing yesterday evening, I hope everyone is having a great Christmas. Then tomorrow it's back to work in order to make America great again. The White House says the president spent the holiday at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, surrounded by family. Mr. and Mrs. Trump also posted a video greeting on Twitter. Now that the festivities are over, among the president's first orders of business may be arranging his first official state visitor. He has been hosted in several countries, most notably a lavish affair in China. But Mr. Trump is the first president in almost a century to close his first year in office without hosting one himself. While the president has dined with world leaders at the White House, the pomp and circumstance of an official state visit is considered an important diplomatic tool. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says there's no singular reason why Trump did not offer an invite in 2017, but she says the administration hopes to schedule a visit early in the new year. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
The White House hasn't indicated which world leader will get the honor of being the president's first official invite. And before we take a break, we look back on the year as we edge closer to 2018. ISIS caused devastation across major European cities this year, with attackers using vehicles as weapons. And it was a year of change and happy announcements for Britain's royal family. CBS's Terry Okita is in London with a look at the international stories which shaped our world in 2017.
In the shadow of London's Big Ben, a man plowed down dozens of pedestrians, killing 4, before stabbing an unarmed police officer to death.
Just heard a bang, and then we just saw 3 people in the road.
It was the first of several terror attacks to hit Britain this year. In May, 22 Ariana Grande fans were killed when a suicide bomber detonated a device at her Manchester concert. 2 weeks later, 3 ISIS supporters drove a van into crowds on London Bridge, then went on a stabbing spree, killing 8 people. In Sweden, an ISIS sympathizer stole a truck and drove it into a packed mall. And ISIS-linked attackers targeted Barcelona in late summer. 14 died when a van tore through the city's busiest tourist strip. ISIS suffered huge losses in the Middle East. In Iraq and Syria, government-backed local forces recaptured the terror group's last strongholds. President Trump made the controversial move to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, sparking outrage for many Arabs who think it should be the capital of a future Palestinian state. The president put plans in motion to relocate the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Islamist fighters ambushed 4 U.S. soldiers in Niger. An investigation into what went wrong continues.
The prospects of enemy contact was unlikely.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un tested a series of missiles, which Pyongyang says could reach U.S. soil. Efforts to get the regime to release jailed Ohio student Otto Warmbier were finally successful, but the 22-year-old was returned to his family in a coma and died. A small electrical fire quickly erupted into a towering inferno at a London high-rise apartment. The nighttime fire killed 71 residents and led to changes in building codes. Britain's Queen Elizabeth continues to work at 91, while husband Prince Philip called it a day, retiring at age 96. Now he can spend more time with their great-grandchildren, including 4-year-old Prince George, who started school this year. The little prince and sister Princess Charlotte will get another sibling next spring. And Prince Harry found love with an American.
It was so sweet and natural and very romantic.
He'll marry actress Meghan Markle at a royal affair at Windsor Castle in the coming year. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
Now, many remember a 12-year-old Prince Harry mourning the loss of his beloved mother, Princess Diana. In August, many royal watchers commemorated the 20th anniversary of Diana's death.